Hi guys, I'm John Wells of WellTech Pest Solutions, and to my right over here is Austin Donkey with WellTech Pest Solutions.
You know my last name's Matteson, right?
It is? Oh, anyway, you heard him, but most of you know him as Donkey, and so let's just keep it like that.
Appreciate the nice introduction, John. Look forward to talking to you today and all of your years of experience, and I'll save my choice words once we get off this podcast. Morning, John.
Hey, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good.
Happy to have you join us down here from Atlanta. We don't get to see your pretty face very often.
That's not true.
I know, but we see it too much. I can't lie to you that much.
Yeah, I have a good time when I come down here.
Good. We just got done with the boat last weekend, didn't we?
Yeah, we had Lori Kroll and Christy. It was Hickson. Now I can't remember what
Store.
And I'm the one that married her. And a couple of who was it? Hector and Jordan.
Yep.
And Chris Kovac.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a full crew and had a good afternoon and good day out on the water. It was hot as hell. Couldn't really, and you can't swim in Tampa Bay, or I'm not swimming in Tampa Bay anyway. So it was a hot day, but there was a lot of good food, and then stopped by Ritz, had a good time, and yeah, I think more of those type events would be on the horizon for us at this point.
I think everybody enjoyed your balls the most that day.
Jesus. Yeah, I'm sure you're probably right. Who was it that took one? Somebody took two of them home.
Lori. For her husband.
Yeah, he loved them.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, he's supposed to come up for the Halloween party.
Oh, very cool. Yeah. What's your secret, by the way?
With the balls?
Yeah.
It's just, I think the sauce is what makes it.
Okay.
That was a jalapeno honey.
All right.
So, yeah.
Well, I got us a little off track, but for those who don't know us, we're with WellTech Pest Solutions, but I just wanted to jump in. You know, John is one of our founding partners who started this with his brother Jay back in 1988. But John, just tell us a little bit about, Atlanta Pest and WellTech and, what do we do?
Well, we do pest control. It's a different type of pest control than most people are used to because we do specialize in apartments. This is all we've ever done. Pest control in apartments is very difficult because you have 28 lifestyles under one roof. But the way we got into it, my brother Jay was working for a company called Amsco Wholesalers, which is apartment motel supply company. We bought the Atlanta Pest Control name with the idea of taking it directly into the apartment market. And here we are doing the same thing today as we were doing in 1988. So been doing it a long time. Seen just about everything you can see. I'm sure I learn something new every day. That's one of the great things about pest control, especially apartment pest control, because you'll see different things. We just had a call, maggots coming out of the wall. Yeah. And
never a dull day.
No, and that's they consider that an emergency, and really, once you take the trash away, they'll go away. But the customer's not going to listen to that, and that's another thing about apartment pest control is that they have residents that are pushing them. So what would be an emergency for us would not really constitute an emergency for a regular pest control company.
Yeah, and I think that touches on, one of our key points is that, the big thing I've learned since I came here to separate us is, customer service. It's a different breed of animal doing multifamily, like you were saying, with different emergencies than it would be for a regular residential company or a commercial base.
Oh, yeah, much different. Part of it is we're doing pest control. I guess if you do rental homes, it would be relatively close to the same, but we're working for the management company or the owners, and then we're doing pest control in somebody's house that we're really not contracted with. So sometimes that can be a little bit of a hang up. Sometimes, a lot of the time, it causes us problems with cooperation and getting prepared for different types of services. There's a lot of pitfalls that go along with a third-party resident that you might not think about.
The tricky triangle, you always called it.
Yeah.
Now, just kind of jumping back a little bit, you said Jay was with AMSCO. What drew him from wholesaling to pest control? Where do you fit into the equation here?
Well, he and our original partner, Nick, stayed on at AMSCO, and Jay could tell you, I think it was until 92. And then they decided to come and join me, and we worked as a team up until Nick passed. And Jay and I have been together ever since. But as far as why pest control, because I had a little bit of experience in it, and we thought it would be a good, the apartment market might be a good one for pest control, and it's contract work.
Right.
So I mean, it's consistent. They don't cancel us during the lean times like residential will, and that's one of the benefits.
And I know you guys value relationship. That's one of the big things is customers can keep us through the thick and the thin, and that's when we're there. But especially with that, how did your relationships take you Georgia boys from Atlanta down to Tampa?
Well, we were in Tampa years ago, and we had some people down here that were running it that weren't running it the way we wanted. So we decided to pare back this division, and we kept one guy on who did just a couple of apartment communities pest control, but he did mainly commercial pre-treats.
Okay.
And so at that time they were building a lot of schools, so we were doing a lot of school work, and it was keeping him busy. And then we sold Atlanta Pest Control in 2015, and when we did that, neither one of us were ready to retire.
Sure about that?
I'm positive. Now this is 9.5 years later, but we're still going strong. But so we decided we weren't going to sell that division, and we'd come down here and try and do it again. And we have, and it's been a great market. People are great down here to us. There was a big need for it. I think there was a couple of specialty pest control companies that were here, but some people don't get it, especially our technicians sometimes. But we try and teach our guys that the customer is always right. Perception is everything. So even if you don't think you did something, if it's perceived that you did by the manager, we're going to try and make it right for them. And I think that goes a long way.
Now, did that that big customer service lacking that you guys saw and what you guys portrays with us here at WellTech, was that the need that you guys saw, or what was that need that how do we fit the missing piece of what you guys saw down here?
Well, that was one thing, and then the response to emergencies, I think, was another one that a gap that needed to be filled. The other thing was that termite. Here we have drywood termites, and there was a need to come up with a new program for drywoods that didn't involve tinning an entire apartment unit or building and displacing those residents for a period of time. So we developed that as well, and that helped us big time the first year. So as we were trying to build this thing, because it takes a while to build a relationship, and especially when you talk about customers that they've never heard of you. Right. So I mean, we're trying to get them to take a chance on us. And once we did that, it was great. But Jennifer Dubeck was one of my first customers, and
she's still with you today?
Yes, she is. I have customers. Lori Kroll, I think I started working with her in 88, 90, something like that.
How do you guys keep from aging so much?
Yeah, right. But yeah, so there was a lot that we could do that other pest control, and one of the main things is just focusing on the apartment industry.
So you mean to tell me that we don't have some magical witch's brew or anything like that separates us from the competition?
No, everybody can get the same chemicals. That's not the thing. The difference is what we're putting forward with customer service. And that's what we try and tell our technicians. Now, part of my job is to make sure that those relationships are solid, and that if my technician, which, I mean, to be honest with you, in the morning when we send them out, we don't know what they're doing.
Right.
So we try and keep our relationships with the managers and the regional managers and the VPs so that if there's a problem with one of our techs, they know that that's not the way we want done, so they'll call us instead of just writing a cancellation letter.
Right.
That's one of the things that we try to work on hard, because technicians are going to mess up. I mess up. You always mess up. But anyway, they're always going to make some mistakes. The difference with us is we're going to make it right, or at least attempt to. And it hasn't been too. There's only a handful of situations where it didn't work out.
And I think the other big focus that you have too would be, you focus a lot on technician training and development and things that way, customer relation, but you also have a knack for developing programs yourself, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah. I mean, the programs that we're running now are some of the same ones that we developed through the years with Atlanta Pest Control. Things change, chemicals change, but the programs are relatively the same, and the concept's the same because the buildings and the residents are the same.
Right.
We work closely with University of Georgia, unfortunately.
What's wrong with them?
I'm a Tech fan, and so it hurts me every year to have to go there for the winter conference. But we developed AMP programs with them. And they took some stuff from us with the drywoods and sub treatments, and so that's part of what I enjoy.
Now that's kind of based off, a lot of people throw around all sorts of buzzwords with pest control, with multifamily, APM, IPM. What do you kind of found these programs on? I know we focus on an IPM background, but explain that for those folks who don't know what the heck we're talking about.
Well, IPM is integrated pest management, and that's a term that's been around forever. And it just means that you use as little chemical as you possibly can, whatever that means, whether it's mechanical traps, environmental changes, or remedies, cleaning up, in other words. But ultimately, our goal is to get rid of the pest with the least amount of pesticide that we can. Now, having said that, it's really pretty difficult to do it with a pointy boot and some peppermint oil. There's people that are trying to do that, but we use the safest chemicals available on the market, and they are very safe. There's way more people that are injured or made sick every year by cleaning products than there are pesticides. At least for the household pest control. Now, I can't speak for agriculture because our industry is a spur off the agriculture industry as far as the chemicals that we get and are able to use. But the ones that we get when they come to us are very safe. There's only a couple restricted use that we use, and we're very judicious on how we operate with that.
So you mean to tell me that pest control is more than just spraying and praying or being a spray jockey?
Oh yeah, much more. It's much more technical than that. If you fall and break your arm, you get a cast on your forearm, but the doctor doesn't come in and say, let's go ahead and cast your whole body. It's just kind of the same thing with pest control. If you have an infestation of, say, German roaches in the kitchen, they're in the kitchen, the population would have to be absolutely enormous for them to move to, say, the living room. So we concentrate our treatments on the areas where we know the insects are going to be, more so than just treating the whole house. That's what a spray jockey does, is they go along and spray along the baseboard in every room, and that's just not what we do. And sometimes our customers don't understand that. And it depends on what we're treating for. I mean, if we're treating for ants or if we're treating for wood roaches, sure, we got to treat the sliding glass door and the exterior entry points. But here in Florida, doing exteriors is a tremendous way to keep the population of all insects down, with the exception of German roaches. German roaches are going to be brought in almost every time. You know, you can't do a lot with those on an exterior treatment, but you can with American roaches, ants, scorpions, whatever.
You seem real knowledgeable about all this bug stuff, almost like a nerd. Where did you get all your background on everything like this?
Just through, I've been in it since I worked with a company before we bought it, Atlanta Pest Control, for a couple of years. So I guess I've been in the industry since about 1985. And you learn a lot when you've been doing it that long.
And I understand that you and your brother also hold special certification.
Yeah, we're both ACE certified, which is Associate Certified Entomologist. And that is something that we're very proud of. They used to give a board certified entomologist. They don't do that anymore. The ACE kind of took over for it. But, you know, it's just another accreditation that means that we've sat through a boring class or a boring week of class and passed the test.
So you're just more so street smart than book smart? Is that what it tells me?
Yeah, really and truly. I mean, honestly, it's no different than anything else. You can study it all day long in the books and be able to test and do very well. But until you put it in the practical world, you don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
You know, it's very, and that's one of the things, you know, that a lot of people have a pitfall on, is that they do the same thing in the same unit, or the same thing in all the units in the whole property, on all their properties. And you can't do that because each unit is individual and each situation is a little bit different. And insects are a living thing, so they change, they adapt, and it's really, you know, it's an interesting field to be in because it does change constantly.
I know you always, you know, one of the things you always say to the techs whenever you're at the meeting is, we're not the plumber. You can't go in and just fix the pipe the same way every time and expect the leak to go away, especially with a insect infestation. Yeah,
you really have to inspect and really, you know, make sure that you're aware of what it is that you're dealing with, first of all. Because, you know, we go once a week to an apartment complex most of the time. And they take that call on a Tuesday and we're not there till Friday. The chance of our technician going in there and seeing exactly whatever prompted that call are slim to none. Because, you know, the insects might not be there. Now there should be signs of it.
Right.
But it takes some investigating by the technician to be able to find those and treat them properly. So if you just go in and treat the same way you treated next door and that's not what's going on, it's not going to work.
Right, absolutely.
That's one of the reasons that I'm big on monitoring boards. You've heard me talk about it forever. I think it's one of the most underused tools in the industry because you can't treat what you don't know.
I think you just keep them as toilet paper at this point, for how much you talk about them. Now, what's your biggest tip, I guess you'd say, what your years of experience that you can give somebody watching this? What helps them that they can help us do for pest control? You know, how do we work together to solve these problems? What's the number one thing?
Well, the number one thing is to understand that that we're partners and that we want to be a part of your team. The last thing we ever want to do is be a problem. And, you know, when we are not communicating, if we're not communicating, you know, reach out and let us know so that we can communicate with you what's going on your property. Because, you know, the more you know about what's going on your property, the better you can be as a management company. So that's the main thing, is communication between our technician, us, and you guys.
So I know you guys, you're talking about moving down here from Atlanta and taking over the Tampa market. What's the big difference between the two? Why Florida? What's big about pests down here?
Well, I mean, one, they don't die off at all. And Georgia, if we're lucky, we'll have a cold winter, and it will, if it doesn't kill off some of the population, it at least slows them. Here, it doesn't ever slow. Everybody has an irrigation system. Everybody has real dense landscaping. It's sandy soil, so the chemicals are absorbed much quicker. The sun's so much brighter. so it breaks the chemical down, which is the way that the chemicals are designed to work, is to break down in the environment. So there's a lot of variables. There's more insects here. There's we got drywood termites down here. There's a lot more roof rats down here than there is in Georgia. Mainly what we have up there is Norways. There's quite a few changes or differences. Now, wildlife is wildlife, and I think the biggest thing, we do bees up in Georgia, and we do bats, and we do all the same things with the exception of drywoods. And the drywood termite part of our business down here is one of the main differences between us and the Atlanta market.
So you just make it sound like they don't die, they multiply. Is there ever any control that you can get down here?
Sure. I mean, you can get control. It's just a matter of working with the property and some help from the resident and good chemicals and good tech. And you can gain control. Now, are you going to eliminate them? Probably never. But I mean, there's a chance. It always cracks me up when somebody says, "I want them all dead." Well, okay, we can kill the ones you're seeing right now, but I mean, ultimately, they're going to come back somehow, some way, sometime.
You mentioned a lot of pests on here: termites, bats, bees, and everything like that. What are the big four that you think we really specialize or see the most down here?
Of wildlife side, it'd be rats, bats, bees, and termites.
Oh my.
Oh my. Yeah. I don't personally do snakes. If you would like to, that's fine. I know that we're getting asked a lot in the Orlando market for alligator relocation. How's that going? Are you getting your certification on that?
Well, we're working with the state to try to get that set up because it's a lottery system. Absolutely. You ever see me put a saddle on an alligator?
Yeah, no.
I bet your ass you will. So it sounds like, if I've got it straightened out, the big things we cover are general pest, termite work, and wildlife. And does that any exclusions other than the snakes that you've got in there, or you handle everything?
No, we handle everything, and it's whatever the customer needs.
Yep.
It's and I don't know if this story is actually true, and I don't know if I tell it exactly right, but there's a story that we've always used, and they say that when Arthur Blank first started Home Depot, he was still working in the store. It was in Atlanta. And a guy tried to return a set of snow tires. And he tried to tell the man, "We don't sell snow tires." Man was adamant on the fact that he bought them from there, and that's the matter of fact. And as the story goes, or as I've been told, the story was that Arthur said, "You know what? I'm going to make a customer for life if I just take these tires back." And supposedly he put them on the wall behind him and said the customer's always right. So that's always stuck with me, even if it isn't true. I think it's a great thought on how to handle your customers. So that's what we do.
I'll remember that. I remember one of the first weeks I came on when you asked me. I was running 5 weekends in a row straight because we got all those new customers, and you called me up and said, "Hey, Donk." I said, "Yeah, boss." He said, "I got an iguana in the garage. You ever deal with iguanas before?" I said, "No." "What do you want me to do?" He said, "I don't really know, but get it out of the garage for the customer." And I think that's the perfect example. We didn't put it on the wall at least, but still got it off the property.
Yeah, I mean, we've done all kinds of stuff for people. Years ago, I had a manager that called me, and she had a squirrel and her vent hood above her stove, and it had fallen, and there's a little ledge there, and he got stuck right there. And it was 10 o'clock at night on a Friday, and Jay went with me. We loaded up and we went over there, and we pulled the little thing out. Sure enough, he stuck his head over, and looked at me.
Yep.
And we tried to get him with some tongs, and we were having trouble, so I finally got him to go to sleep for a second, and he fell down in. So, and then I just took him outside, but that made a customer for life.
Yeah.
And that's what I keep trying to make my technicians understand, is that if you do little things like that, and it's not saying that I want my technicians to go to the manager's house, but just telling somebody, "Hey, this unit looks like maybe they've skipped," or "Did you know this unit has a dog?" Or "Do you know that there's 12 people sleeping in this one?"
Yep.
Those things are the things that make the difference. And once you gain the confidence of the management company or the manager or the regional, then usually they're going to stick with you and they're going to listen to what you say because they know you care, and you're gonna make the going above and beyond to get rid of the problem. That
1 degree of separation, you say, that separates, that extra one thing that you do doing all those little things.
A lot of what we do, well, we can't kill bats, first of all. Matter of fact, bat season is about to open up in August, August 15th. And, it's closed from April 15th to August 15th so that they can repopulate and take care of their babies. So we can't at any time kill bats. And we try not to kill raccoons or anything else, possums. Rodents, that's a different story. They're very destructive, and they can actually cause some problems with the hantavirus and a couple other things that they carry. So that's a little bit of a different story. Bees, you're a beekeeper now. I'm proud to have one, and so you can remove the bees unless we see that they're aggressive, and then we do eliminate those bees and remove the comb.
If I can get a call to you before they sting me too often.
Yeah.
So you mean to tell me that pest control extends from not just getting rid of the pest, but also protecting buildings and assets and things like that?
Yeah, we have to have. I have a little bit of a construction background, and I know you do, but we try to hire some people that have a little bit too, because exclusion is the best method of making sure that we don't have them back in the units or in the attics or in the buildings, period. So sealing off the eaves and the aprons around the bottom, that's all imperative.
Yep.
And that's a part of what we do. Yeah.
I know we've talked a lot about what we do, but whereabouts do we cover down here in Florida?
Right now we're, and you could speak on this a little better than me, but we're in Orlando, and I know we're on the East Coast some. And then on the West Coast, we go all the way down to Fort Myers.
Yep.
Sarasota, Bradenton, Brandon, all the way up to Brooksville and Spring Hill, and then all along the coast and Clearwater. We're spread out pretty good here.
A lot of miles you must be
Orlando
putting on the truck.
and Lakeland and everywhere, points in between.
Well, I know these people have been listening to you drone on long enough, and they might be asleep more so than you are.
Yeah.
But I want to thank you for stopping out today, John. Any final thoughts you want to impart on our wonderful listeners?
Hey, we appreciate you. You are what makes this company thrive, and we just want to be here for you and be a part of your team from now until he's dead.
That might be too soon if you keep running me ragged like this.
I'm getting old, so I'm not going to say that about me. I don't want to throw that out there.
Listen, you're a damn cockroach. You're never going to die.
I am a cockroach.
And proud of it.
Yeah.
Well, from all of us here at WellTech, thanks for tuning in again this week, and we look forward to talking to you on our next episode.